Oh yeah. No, I'm still testing out Zoom, trying to figure out the software. So
Ah,
it's a good way of like connecting with therapists, saying hello, and like playing with software to figure out how to do stuff. So trying to see if I can figure out how to change this to be able to. So speaker view, let me do full screen. Gallery view, just puts it side by side. Okay. And then if I share screen, let's see, whiteboard. Then it puts you on the side. Interesting. Okay, that's a little bit better. That's not too bad. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out how to play with the various settings. Small active speaker and minimize. Okay. So what's going on with your practice? I mean, I know you're not seeing clients right now, but what's like I'm struggling to try to figure out how to help therapists when mostly what I was doing, other than body work technique, was helping therapists build on social media, building social media content, Instagram, connecting with people, using it to get potential clients. What's going on for you right now?
um, not a whole lot. I was just starting my business right before this all hit. Like,
Yeah,
I just started it in December, so
yeah. Oh man.
um, I'm working on trying to come up with content and working on my website and figuring out like all the business side of things, setting up paperwork and just trying to have it all kind of ready to go so that I can hit the ground running as soon as this is all over.
Yeah. So how long ago did you finish school?
5 years ago for massage, and then I was in school for chiropractic and nutrition after that.
Okay. So you're a chiropractor as well?
Mm,
Oh man, no, you're in a sweet spot then. Yeah,
yep.
no, that's not even remotely. That's like way ahead of the game. So this actually changes the nature of some of the conversation. Are you primarily going to be focusing on chiropractic, or are you primarily focusing on doing massage?
I hadn't really made that determination yet.
Yeah.
When I started my practice for massage, I had not yet finished school, so
Hmm.
I was focusing on massage, and I thought like I could build up the massage and then transition it
Yeah.
because I intend to always do massage. So
So what it does is it opens up some completely new areas that I don't usually get a chance to talk about, because you can have a clinic and hire massage therapists, and massage therapists and how massage therapists think because you are one. Some chiropractors have a little bit more dissonance when they're not also a therapist. When they don't do a lot of soft tissue work, they're just doing adjustments.
mhm,
So you're in a unique position to be able to relate to both camps.
okay,
Yeah. Um, you want to be ready to hit the ground running. Do you have a website up at all?
I do.
Okay.
I built it
Can,
myself, so it's
can you,
not that great.
can you send me a link to it so I can pull it up on screen? You don't mind, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Send me that.
Let's see.
Now I get to flip around my screen and figure out what I'm doing. You put it in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me click on that. Let me see. Okay, now you can go ahead and leave that up for now. Nice, you're way ahead of the curve. And then your area right here is further to the east is where Chicago is.
Um, I'm terrible at geography. It is about an hour away. I know that.
Look kind of northeast of you.
Yeah, I think Northeast.
Okay. Yeah, I've only been in Chicago like a handful of times. And then I'm trying to see if on our screen here. Hey Carl, how you doing?
Hey there.
Hey Carl, this is Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
And I was taking a quick look at Kelly's website. She's a chiropractor in addition to massage therapist. What's up with you?
Okay. Pardon?
What's up with you?
Well, I'm not sure if you remember, we chatted probably about a year and a half ago. It was when you were
Sure.
trying to get ready to
Yeah.
come over to Jackson.
Yeah.
And, well, since then, I went through NSAM and got my personal training and my corrective exercise specialization.
Nice.
And it's nice, but I don't exactly know how. My biggest thing is trying to figure out how to incorporate.
Yeah.
That's running into a roadblock, and so and part of it is logistical, and then part of it is more of a theoretical, or when you learn more about physical education, you kind of have limitations with. You see the limitations of just massage or just body work, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so it's you want to be honest with your clients, about the reality of what we do, but you still want to get paid and still want to be helpful because you know that there is a benefit to massage therapy, but it's not the end all be all.
Chiropractor, corrective exercise, I know nothing. Here's what happens. What does the public really know about chiropractic?
They crack backs.
And what does the public know about corrective exercise?
For me, the first thing that pops in their head is physical therapist.
Yeah. Which is just, it's always by association. They're always going to compare it. Like if you hear a new musician, you compare that musician to other people you've heard. He sounds like Stevie Wonder or whatever it is. What happens is you have to be able to harness, like she's going to show her website in a second, Kelly's. And then you have to be able to harness social media to build her own personal brand to get people into what she's doing specifically. And in your case, Karl, it means because you're doing something that is educational in nature, meaning corrective exercise is something you're teaching to people. I teach a lot of self-care stuff. So it allowed me to start making videos and just see like, I don't know what, I mean, okay, people got a problem with this. Let me show them how to press on this with a foam roll. But just talking about levator scapula made me a medical expert. To most of the public, they're like, whoa, there's like one specific muscle. Like they don't, it's all mystery to them. Right? So the thing is, just putting out simple content like that really helped build brand for the kinds of people I wanted to work on locally. Who, in your case, Karl, or in your case, Kelly, want what you do specifically. They want to work with you, and it allows you to build personality, education, rapport. What I think happens is just because you have a website, Kelly, and because I only 2 seconds looked at the first page and I'm like, oh my God, this is a consummate professional. I want to get a session. There's no photo of you. I'm like, wow, it's actually got a schedule here and a button where I can find information quickly, which is how they use the website. Fundamentally, I think that process is very simple. The complexity comes out in each of you being artists and crafting your own materials and crafting your own message and in talking to people to share with them about chiropractic and massage and about, is it ASTM you called it?
NSAM.
NASM. Yeah, I get confused with like acronyms, but teaching them about corrective exercise, even changing the name from corrective exercise to something else.
Well, I mean, I've looked more into that. It's some of the other flows that other massage therapists have kind of gone into is like kind of a restorative movement or functional movement. These are all, kind of catchphrases that have become synonymous with some of this stuff.
Being a mobility coach.
Well, the difference, where I kind of want to capitalize is the difference between physical therapists and what I want to do is that they are a little bit more micro, whereas what I want to do is more macro, because that's just how PT is set up. They don't have the ability, they have the education and the expertise, don't get me wrong, but they don't have the ability to look at the whole body. That's just not how orders are written. That's not how they treat. They treat if you go in for a low back pain, that's what they're going to treat. They're not going to look at that, okay, something's going on with your ankles or your knees or your hips that are contributing to the lower back pain, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So mine is more like I want to teach people to crawl before they walk kind of mentality. instead of worrying about so much about, oh, you're coming in because you hurt here or you hurt there. It's like, well, let's start. That can be a starting point, but what we want to do is eventually we want to look at your whole body and get you moving better so that you hurt less and you just have a higher quality of life. That's so it becomes more of a wellness kind of coach / therapist. I mean, it's a hybrid of things that I haven't really been able to figure out how to put into words and even conceptualize to package it up to give it to a client yet.
From a sales perspective, always sell the benefits. Don't even compare it. Like, in other words, Kelly being a chiropractor and a massage therapist, it's like you say, hey, I'm a licensed chiropractor and licensed massage therapist. I'm uniquely poised to help you with myoskeletal dysfunction or pain management or whatever. That when you say it's pain management, that takes it completely away from being massage in most people's minds. But because 80% of the massage marketplace, at least, just thinks massage is something they get at a spa. They don't really, like, we have to kind of educate them if we're going that pain management kind of route. And it depends on your marketing. One of the things I do with the students I work with is I'm consistently telling them, listen, I do think that the work I teach is deeply relaxing, but I don't focus on relaxation in my marketing at all. I feel like that market is better served by effleurage, table-based Swedish. That is not what I offer. I'm completely like in a different category that way. And it's not because this is a bad service. I just think this is already represented, and this wasn't really what I wanted to offer my clients. It didn't stand out.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So let me see real quick. I'm still learning how to do the controls here because I wanted to screen share and see if I could show her website and go over that real quick. Well, did I close it here?
I'm still getting used to
There we go.
The dynamics of Zoom.
Yeah. So the fastest thing is like her name, schedule online, these clickable buttons, and then like call or text. Do you have online? So I was going to say, do you have online scheduling? What are you using for an online scheduler?
Square, and I think it's actually not working right now. I have to work on that tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. I don't even know how to operate Zoom.
There you go.
Yeah. And then just like a quick drop-down menu. Let's see. Go back to the home page. So here's one thing I'd recommend, and I'm not an expert at this in any way, shape, or form. The way I learn is by learning to become fearless and know that the worst thing that can happen right now is my computer crashes. So it's like, it doesn't matter in the whole scheme of things. One, I would put a picture of you on the first page on your website. It could be a nice, like, professional headshot. It might be you working on someone, Kelly, either an adjustment setting or massage setting. I want them to be able to connect with you specifically, especially since this is focusing on you. This isn't like a clinic where you've got 5 other therapists, right? The personal, service, connecting with you specifically. Are these just like stock photos?
Yes.
Yeah, I would, as much as you could, I would get do you have does your phone take decent photos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would use my phone and take some photos similar to this in different settings and use those. I think having your own photos really makes like a great, I don't know, how do I say this? It makes a great impression to people who come on board. Do you have information here on like testimonials from clients?
I used to. I'm not sure if I still had them up.
Okay.
There.
Yeah. So one of the things I would do, this is your home page. So on here, you've got, some basic information about you. You've got like a map so they can see where you are. You might want to break it down, like in the services section. I'd like more information about the services you provide specifically.
Okay.
And instead of just like time limit and then like fee, I'd also want information about like specific services maybe even beyond this. So like, does this platform, I don't know what you're hosting your website on, do you have the capacity to blog post at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you could do is you could have a little blurb like this on therapeutic, and then say, if you want more, bloop, and it goes straight to your blog to an article about that specifically.
Okay.
Beyond even having a photo, if you could have like a blurb and then like a video. Have you done any video production at all?
No, I'm actually, that's on the agenda for tomorrow, doing a video on
Yeah.
touch alternatives with the social isolation going on.
Yeah. So video is it seems complex at first. Does it feel overwhelming to you at all?
A little.
Okay, because therapists, I talk to them about this all the time. Like, am I a little overwhelmed pressing buttons on Zoom and going, how does this work? Yeah. and I'm teaching people, right? The difference is if you just had, say, Instagram on your phone, you can just use your camera. But Instagram is nice because it makes a little 1-minute video. When people hit your website, Karl, do you have videos on your website?
Not currently. I'm behind the times technologically.
Yeah, but you're in Mississippi, right?
Correct.
How many people are going to your website or finding you on social media at all?
Minimal. That's what I'm trying to.
Because I grew up in Louisiana, it was a little slower on the social media front.
Mm-hmm. It's a wide open market around here, from what I gather, and I want to take. That's what I'm actually planning on using this downtime to do, is to work on that aspect of the business.
So Instagram, your main feed on Instagram will make a 1-minute-long square video. That little video, you can go to your phone settings and you can change Instagram settings so it saves that on your phone in like your data. So you can take that video and then connect your phone to your computer or whatever, or upload directly to YouTube. That 1-minute-long video can be a little ad that basically Google owns YouTube that can increase your search engine optimization. That little minute video, the reason I like Instagram for that is it's only a minute long. I don't have any problem. It's almost midnight. I guarantee you we could sit down and do this and it'll be 2 a.m. And I'm like, come on, man, I'm just getting started. The problem is that's so much information in a 2-hour time frame. Only diehard fans are going to watch all of that. But who has time for a minute video?
Yeah.
And that's why Instagram's parameters are set that way. So you could just use your camera, but making simple videos that are educational tutorials, things that you can repurpose and reuse. The other thing that happens is once you make, let's say you actually just use your phone camera, you make a little 10-minute video. You can upload that into YouTube, and YouTube has fairly simple settings where it's going to allow you to do some basic editing. And what you can do, Kelly, is you can find a clip of that 10-minute video and make a copy of this and go clip this little section right here. This is a minute long. Now you've got a new video made out of this big, longer video. Make sense?
Yeah.
Am I overwhelming you yet? No, it's totally fine. I mean, because if it's new to you, it's like these are things that I think therapists are a little bit behind on. And like even me, other entrepreneurs would talk to me and be like, what? You don't know how to do that yet? And I'm like, no, man, I only know what I know. So what it is you can make multiple videos out of the same section of video. Make sense?
Yeah.
So having a blog post and some video on pre and postnatal, here's what happens to me when I look at massage therapist website. If you had videos on here, Kelly, you are a rock star. If you also have on here somewhere on your homepage, people come to your homepage and typically, like, how are people getting to your website, Kelly?
I don't know.
Okay. So the thing is, you're trying to increase search engine optimization. So when people search for massage, are you in Aurora, Illinois?
Yes.
That they're going to find you. Okay. Google sends out spiders and searches the whole internet, collates all that data to bring local people to you. The whole thing is, if you have videos on YouTube with links and it says the best massage in Aurora, Illinois, that those keywords are picked up by Google and they start showing your stuff to people who are searching in your area. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The other portion is I would like social media links, and I see up here in the corner these Facebook, Twitter. These were so small I didn't even see them at first. If you build these channels and you really plan to hit social media hard, I would want to make these larger and probably colored so that they stand out on the rest of the background.
Okay.
Because here's the deal. I think both of you, Karl, do you have any kind of giveaway on your website?
Not currently. I'm basically what you consider a dinosaur that has had the benefit of word of mouth for many years, and now that is not a viable source because of how I've grown, and you lose some of your clientele because they don't follow with the direction you're going, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, no, and the thing is, if you're growing, I think that's a natural evolution. I actually think that's a good thing. It's a challenge while it's happening, but I think if your practice is changing focus, your clients have to change and evolve with you, or you get yeah.
And so I'm going to have to change my methodology of how I attract clients and who I'm attracted. So it's just as I said, a lot of it's just a fundamental change in how I'm doing business, which is kind of got my head spinning.
Yeah. Yeah. So in some ways, Karl, I think you are the most poised to take huge advantage of the stuff I'm discussing.
I agree.
The difference with Kelly is she's got a leg up because she's a chiropractor, but she's also new. Doesn't have like an established practice. How long have you been working, Karl?
I've been a therapist for about 19 years.
And the thing is, you've already got in-person connections that can manifest online.
It's part of the thing that I run into is that, obviously you don't have a practice for almost 20 years and not rub some people the wrong way. So my question, one of the questions I wanted to ask you is, how do you go about smoothing over those hurt feelings that may have, or are you just going to lose those people, or are they
hurt feelings over what? Because your practice changed?
How they practice changed, and that you went one direction and you didn't want to continue doing, certain modalities or how you did it. And we as therapists, you learn something new and you're all on fire wanting to do that and show and experience it. And that's not for everyone. So it's just mistakes. I mean, it's basically, how do you correct the mistakes you make as you go through your career? So.
Well, if I could figure out how to put the video on the big screen, how do I do that?
Just lay down.
Oh, that'll be better. You can see a little bit better. So here's what I think happens. I'm in the middle of a divorce. Not fun. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. People grow together or they grow apart. Mm-hmm. The worst thing is just not getting divorced and trying to force things that aren't supposed to be doing that anymore. I think the same thing applies in business. I don't think it's so much about firing the clients as it is drawing the new clients, and then the people who want to come with you come along.
Yeah.
I also do a lot of verbal explanation and education with my clients so that I'm drawing people who are interested in where I'm going. Like my real fans, they're excited about change.
Yeah.
They're excited about growth. And I say, hey, I studied some, therapeutic exercise with Karl. I want to do like a movement assessment. Ooh, Robert, what is this? Because that's a totally new thing in my practice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that, right? The clients that I'm going to continue to work with are the ones who want to continue growing with me. I think it's a bad play to play defense.
Yeah.
And like try to preserve. I think it's much better to play offense and just keep going where you want to go. And it's like, I want to work on football players. Okay, we'll talk about the goddamn line of scrimmage, talk about how the fact they're hunched over, talk about the way they're using their body, to make videos about their body mechanics, how they're, being hit or, dealing with whatever they deal with as football players. I think it's a much better move to make content for those people and draw them and then have some of those clients come along with you than worrying about clients going away. Clients have gone away. I had a yoga student for like 8 years and I haven't seen her in 3 or 4 months. She worked with me for 8 years. She already knows what I teach. My teaching hasn't fundamentally changed. She's probably got her own practice, and we're in the middle of, all of this, right? I mean, this is before COVID, but it's like there's a little bit of a sense of loss. But the thing is, preferentially, you should be like so busy that you're not concerned about clients that go away. Not every client is our client, Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, do I get worried that like people see me and then go see another therapist?
No.
No. The greater Austin.
Mine is not even that issue. It's more so the fact of I guess we as therapists naturally don't want to be disliked. That's just kind of, I guess, a personality trait of every therapist that I've ever met. Because we like to be liked, because everybody, that's just the nature of our profession.
Yeah.
But I lost that train of thought. I guess it's getting late. He just ran away.
We want people to like us, but the fundamental fact is people are averse on many levels. They are averse to change. They do not like it. If I get used to the way that Zoom works and next week they come out with a new feature, change some settings, I'm like, oh man, why do you keep messing with my life? People are averse to it, but I think what we do is we sell the benefits of where we're going. What I do a lot of times is I just share my questions with clients because I don't know about therapeutic exercise, or I don't know certain elements about physiology and chiropractic. I share my questions with them and I say, Kelly, my understanding is, chiropractic and massage go well together because generally the work that I'm doing for manual therapy is relaxing soft tissue. Not only is the adjustment easier to achieve, but it also seems to last longer for the clients. Their sense of well-being is increased longer, something like that. That information is stuff that they just don't know. My approach as a body worker was always as a friendly mechanic.
Yeah.
I help them with their car and say, listen, you don't need to change the brake pads right now, but in 4 months, it needs to come in. That's going to be an issue. We need to take care of that before it's a bigger one. People really respect that I'm not just trying to get them in again. Got to be a client. I don't like overstep and say, oh my God, you got tarsal tunnel syndrome. Tarsal tunnel syndrome is horrible. I'm going to have to do 10 sessions to even be able to help. Chiropractors sometimes, Kelly, you could tell me this, chiropractors get more training and that sort of rebooking, and there are pieces of it that I don't like if it's not the rebooking process. It's like over exaggerating people's issues, because they tell me I have tarsal tunnel syndrome if they knew what that was. And I go, oh, you've got some tight muscles in your leg?
Yeah.
Does it make sense? But I don't find that they disrespect my work or it's not as professional or whatever. It just means, listen, Suzanne, I worked on your leg. It looks like you're having some problems with the muscles in your calves and these ones over here on the side and front. I think the tightness is just kind of maybe pressing on a nerve and causing some of that pain you feel down through your ankle, something like that. I make it as complex as necessary so that they understand what's going on, but also not so complex that it's like this top-down model. Does it make sense? Like, because I really thrive on educating people. If I was a mechanic, I go, listen, it's a distributor cap. This is what the distributor cap does. These wires go out to the spark plugs or, whatever. It's like, this needs to be changed just to increase that connection. People actually feel, I think, more amenable to trusting me and want to continue working with me because of that sort of abject honesty. I tell them a lot. I don't know. They're like, why does my back hurt? And I'm like, it's probably because you walk upright. Bipedal puts pressure on our spine in a different way. Do you guys have like specific questions about your businesses or other stuff I can help you with?
I'm sure I'll come up with a million questions as soon as we get off.
Well, don't worry. I'm probably going to be here tomorrow. Like, I don't have a lot going on. I'm like, let me figure out Zoom. Yeah. So, Kelly, did you understand what I was saying about making the social media icons a little bigger and colored so they
Hmm.
stand out? So, what I was saying about a free giveaway on my website, one of the best things I ever did for my business was I started teaching. And when I started teaching, it was because Thai massage just wasn't available. And I must have spent, it was like 2 or 3 grand producing this. It was some inordinate amount of money at the time. Maybe it was 1,800, I don't remember. But I had a photographer friend who took these photos, and I took the basic workbook I had made where I took my wife's son and like drew on it with a Sharpie on his body to like show stuff. So I just made a more professional copy of that workbook with text. And then I had a PDF on my website. So I had a digital thing. I had never made a thing before. And basically people were like, you should sell that. And I'm like, nah, I think I'm just going to give it away. They're like, oh my God, that's insane. What are you doing? You just spent like 2 grand. And I'm like, well, no, I mean, I'll build an email list. I'll give it away for an email. I went to once we had the infrastructure set up, I had to pay somebody to do it because I didn't know how to do it. It was like connected to MailChimp or Constant Contact at that time. I can't recall which we had. And I went to Facebook into Facebook groups and I said, hey, I got a free Thai massage workbook. Within a month, we had like 7,000 downloads.
Wow.
Because
Damn.
it's free. So here's the thing. When they hit your website, Kelly, locally, they want to come get a session from you. That's usually what they're going to be looking for. That would be likely how they're finding you, right?
Correct.
But here's the thing. You need to use that website to get them to follow you on social media or collect an email address. Or even like, hey, give me your phone number. You ready for this? Do you guys have SMS messaging with your business? Okay, I
Yeah.
don't. How are you handling that, Kelly?
My business line's through Google Voice.
Yeah.
And so I leave the tab open on my computer constantly, and then I have it on my phone as well.
So you can type in stuff and it'll send them text messages?
Mhm.
Nice. Okay. So you're teaching me stuff because I'm like, Google Voice. I haven't looked into that. Okay. Because we're trying to figure out SMS messaging because I have a larger, following where I could send people information. Like, let's say I was doing Facebook Lives, which I do quite regularly. If I have everybody on a text list, I can just send out a mass text 30 minutes before I go live and say, hey, I'm going to be live at 4 p.m. if you want to watch on Facebook. A lot of people are telling me that's the contact they want. They don't want emails.
Gotcha.
Because the email, I got to check my email. It's overwhelming or whatever. But they actually want the contact through text message. So you get a chance to sort of differentiate. I still think collecting all of that information is good. And I think getting them to follow you on social media is great as well. I actively tell people this all the time in my social media. Listen, if you have a question, I want you to video message me on Snapchat or Instagram to try to get them to engage with me and get them to ask me questions. Because when they have a deeper sense of like intimacy and connection with me, they're much more likely to eventually make a purchase of some sort. Connections breed sort of more business. So it's not about just getting you to buy stuff, Karl. It means that, well, no, you're a massage therapist, you know other massage therapists, and the massage therapist says, hey, I'm looking for CEs. What do I do? And you go, well, Robert's got some CEs online. Those sorts of connections breed more business. But I think you're losing something if you're only offering a service through the website without collecting that information. I think that's fundamentally important. When I see websites that aren't collecting that information, I wonder what they're doing. Because let's say 100 people a month hit your website. How many people of those 100 are going to schedule a session?
Visit a small fraction.
Yeah, let's say 5, something like that. For every 100 people that hit, 5 people make an appointment, which is probably great for your business, by the way. But let's say you had a giveaway. You have a little course. You have a PDF. You have a checklist. You have you have, I don't know, whatever it is you want to do. You make a little video course, whatever. If you're offering something to them to get their email address or phone number, how many of those 100 people are now willing to give you an email or a phone number?
Yeah, starting to get into better.
Because what it is it's free, guys. Hey, it's free. People love free. Free is a very low barrier of entry. Kelly, how much do you charge for an hour typically for massage?
My introductory is 75 and my normal rate's 120.
Yeah. So between 70 and 120, we'll just say 80. I'll just make up a number. If I was on the web and I'm looking for massage and I find you, I'm like, well, I don't know her, maybe I look around her website. Oh, she's on Instagram. But am I likely to give you my phone number or my email address to get some more information? Because once you get me into your funnel, then you can maintain contact with me. So for instance, let's say you had a little course, you made a little course of some sort. Every day they get a new email. The email's got a link to a YouTube video that walks them through a little self-care series. I'm sure you could figure out how to do that between YouTube videos and something like MailChimp for an email list. So it just kicks off an automated sequence. And now they go through a little 10-day course. Hey, it's Kelly again. Here's day 2. But each of those videos, what you're doing is you're trying to get them to re-engage with your content. You're trying to get them to like your YouTube channel, to fall into your funnel, to connect with you, to be able to build rapport. The good side is it takes a lot of time to set this stuff up, but once it's set up and set up well, you don't have to work anymore. You don't have to do it again. I mean, you could tweak it later or change it, but the thing is, it's automated. That means if I found your website at 3 o'clock in the morning, Kelly, I could go ahead and start going through your funnel. Because it's like, oh, she's got a free video course. And then whoop, kicks me out an email. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. That's so professional. That's because they form like opinions just based on that, right? Like how many massage therapists have a little course, even if it's just YouTube videos on their website?
Not very many.
None around here.
And you don't have to do much to stand out completely, so that when you are working with the certain clients and you're like, well, my practice is evolving, what you're doing is you're using social media and just massive potential reach to draw the people who really want to work with you. I knew that I drink, that I curse, and that I was not going to be everybody's cup of tea. So I just went, blah, blah, blah. I'm on the internet, I'm Robert Gardner. Yeah. And I have pretty rabid fans who actually, it's funny because like beef will start in like Facebook groups and somebody will say something bad about me and my fans will just, jump all over them or whatever. It's like, you don't know Robert Gardner like we know Robert Gardner. But you have to feed the fans. You really have to feed like where your practice is going. And some of that, in my opinion, is, I'm going to make a guess. I'm going to say 70 to 80% of the problem is the stuff we're discussing. It has nothing to do with body work. It has nothing to do with your massage or therapeutic exercise. It has very little to do with knowing about so much about massage and about chiropractic. It has to do with business infrastructure.
Yep.
Building that, like Kelly, do you want to continue to just work for yourself or do you want to hire therapists?
I want to eventually hire.
Oh, girl, you got it. So here's the thing. If you can develop some of this and then push it out even further, check this out. Like you can do this. On your website now, you've updated, you've grown. Let's say you're still doing it through MailChimp and YouTube. But now each of the therapists you have, you're training them. And you have each of them make their own little class that's on your website. So after they go through yours, which is the main course, now you can go to Tiffany's. Now you can go to Karl's. And each of your therapists has their own little kind of hub where it's like giving them information about that therapist and what they do specifically. Because maybe Tiffany focuses on slightly different things than Karl. Makes sense? But now here's what happens. If you control that YouTube channel and that information flow from like your master email list, instead of running people through, let's say your course is 7 days, one of the therapist's course is 7 days, the other person's course is 7 days. You can run them through a 7-day course that you made, give them a 2 or 3 day break, auto-enroll them in the next course for that therapist, give them 2 or 3 days, auto-enroll them in the next one. So here's the thing. You can make a funnel that's a month long.
Okay.
And they're like, oh my God, well, what are these people doing? Like, this is insane. I've never even seen a massage therapist have a course and they've got like multiples with like different educators, or different therapists working there. That's how I tend to look at it, is like you start small and you just slowly try to figure out how to improve it. I really think most of what therapists are missing is the infrastructure. It's not the technique. Their massage is great. If you do effleurage and you just got out of school, your technique is great. That's plenty enough to build a business on. The difference is the therapists are afraid to pick up the phone and film themselves and make content saying, hey, I'm Cheryl. Listen, I just got out of massage school, but I do really great Swedish. I'd love to see you as a client. Our room is really relaxing. Here's candles I use, or whatever that is. That sort of marketing and allowing people to connect with us. One of the weirdest things to me is our industry is so tech averse, right?
Yeah, we are.
Because we want to work with people. That's what I see again and again. We want to work with people, but the way you work with people is by connecting with them. And here's the thing: as a guy, Karl, I had a distinct challenge because I knew I was not going to survive just in a spa.
Yeah.
Kelly was going to do much better because she was a woman and people were going to choose her preferentially. It was going to be a little bit easier in the beginning. But I knew, okay, hold on. But Robert, I do chronic pain. If I focus on pain management, and I can really help people with that, they'll even tolerate my bad attitude. And that's what I did is I focused on that, and the website, the blog posts, the videos, the information I put out focused on chronic pain. It didn't focus on relaxation. It allowed me to be on the offense and play to my strengths and continue to provide more information. You want to make it even weirder? So I would produce a video and show people how to lay down on a tennis ball and work on infraspinatus because they were having problems with their rotator cuff, something like that. I would put that video up. That video is sitting there. It's running 24 hours a day on YouTube. Now, not millions of people see it, but it might have 2,000 views. It's not too bad. It's free, right? It didn't cost me anything to make. I probably shot it with my phone or a flip cam. Somebody would write me and say, hey, I used that video to work on my arm. It's so much better. This was a YouTube comment I got. And I said, hey, thank you so much. I'm really happy that video helped you. That's why I put out information like this. And I would say, would you mind cutting and pasting that and going to my Google profile and leaving a review? And they would cut and paste that and say, this dude showed me on YouTube how to work on my arm. My arm is so much better. I can't even imagine what he could do in person. His work is amazing. 5 stars.
Never had to put a hand on them.
And the thing is, what does it do to consumers' conception of what it is I actually do in session? Because they're like, man, if he can help people online, just through a YouTube video, imagine what he could do in person. And that's the thing. This is the stuff, the infrastructure, the video production, me screwing around on Zoom. I didn't know how to pull up this screen. This is the part where I think it really shifts people's practices. If you'll spend a small amount of your time each week working on things, and if you're extremely tech averse, you can hire someone if you're seeing clients and making money. You can hire someone to help you. Kelly, did you make your website all yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you make it with? What software? Wix. Yeah. I have a little bit of experience working with it. I think starting with your own, as long as you're comfortable with it. Do you like website creation?
I mean, yeah, I know that I don't know as much as I should to really have a absolutely professional website, but I figure it's trial and error. It's not like some big company where I make a mistake on my website and it's gonna be all over CNN. Look what they did.
Well, you would hope anything you did that would wind up on CNN. That's going to be good for business. What I would do is I like what the technology does for me. I don't so much care about the geekery of it itself. I like the fact that it gets me clients. It allows me to put out information, but I'm not really interested in the tech component itself. If you are like that and you don't like it, slowly, incrementally, just figure out how to outsource it. You can go to Fiverr and you can hire someone who right now is desperate for any work. And they would be happy to design a website, make some graphics for you for graphic design, a little logo, whatever it is you need. You have to be consistent and persistent about just kind of pushing your edges. I was looking for software for a while, and I'd been so busy with other tasks. It wasn't until COVID happened that I finally looked at Zoom and went, I got online with somebody the other night, and they were going into this great conversation. And I'm like, man, how does this record? And I had to do like probably a quick Google search, and I found it and just press some buttons. And it was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. It's like it's so simple. It's just pressing a button. But you don't know it until you do. Yeah. So the website, you're trying to sell them a service, but you're also trying to collect their information. I almost think the information collection is more important because they might have to hit your website 2 or 3 times before they really decide they want to make a purchase. After you put them through your course, Kelly, you've got their email, you've got their text. You can just send them very basic emails that say, hey, I'm just letting you know we're renovating our office. We've added a new service that we want you to know about. That email didn't try to sell them anything. It provided them more information. Here's our latest YouTube video. You're providing them more free stuff. They're much less likely to unsubscribe, and they're much more likely to open those emails and see what you're doing because they're actually interested in your growth and in your development, Karl. Mm-hmm. This is what I learned at this class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like a lot, and if you get a little overwhelmed by it, even before we get to a website, listen, Instagram is not hard to download and use. Hashtags are search function. Like there might not be a lot of people, but like Kelly, who are like your ideal clients in Aurora? Who are the clients you really want to work on? Not even from a financial standpoint, the clients that you're like, yes.
People with high stress and physical jobs. So
physical
like
jobs.
A lot of my clients right now are police officers.
Oh, so listen, police officers, you give them a session and you say, hey, don't even worry about leaving a tip today. Would you make an Instagram video with me?
Okay.
And you take Ross, and Ross is a big burly cop. He's already back in, whatever. And you make like a quick, like Instagram, like testimonial, but you're going to take that video after the fact and put it on your website so the other police officers see it.
Okay.
When you put it on Instagram, you're going to tag, police Aurora or Aurora police or sheriff or whatever hashtags are related to that other police officers might be looking for. I would be so funny as to tag like Dunkin' Donuts or like hashtag, funny stuff because it draws people's interest in. You're kind of teasing that sort of thing. But police officers have a very high stress job. They don't get a huge amount of respect from the public. If you want more respect, you go work at the fire department. So the other thing is people are going to relate to your client. If you make videos, technique videos with your ideal clients. So in other words, if your ideal clients are people with manual labor jobs, you don't want to make a video with Maud, and Maud is 70 years old. Does it make sense? Because you want to feature the people that look like the people you're looking for, that look like the ones that you really, really want to work with. And for a lot of people, making a quick like Instagram testimonial video is probably something you could get away with pretty easily. It's just a minute, right? Yeah. The other part is if you're making a video with Ross, does Ross likely have his own Instagram channel?
Yeah.
Tag him in the video, because what Instagram sees is now these two people are interconnected. So it means that his audience is going to see your video. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, much more likely. It certainly increases the likelihood. So this video right here, just so you guys know, I started recording this when we started, Kelly. Do you guys care if I use this for social media purposes? Karl?
Well, as long as you don't make me look like an idiot.
No. So the thing is, one, people aren't going to be searching for this. You guys are getting kind of business information from me, but here's what I'm going to do for you, okay? I'm going to take this video. Zoom just stores this on my laptop. I'm going to go to YouTube and upload it. But what I want is, I want your website address or your social media links that you're going to send to me in Facebook Messenger. I want your website and social media links. and I'm going to put your websites and social media links underneath my YouTube video. Guess what happened to your search engine optimization just now?
Went up.
Yeah, but it doesn't help me a whole lot when I don't have much to optimize.
You created a backlink. No. What you're doing is you're gaming my audience.
True.
There's like 11,000 people on my Facebook page.
That's saying that they have somewhere to go.
What do you mean? Oh, they don't have anywhere to go, like on YouTube?
No, saying that they have to be linked to something that I can give them to show. So.
Oh, yeah. So, but you do have a website right now, right?
It's in shambles, but.
Oh, okay. Well,
there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work to be done. And as I said, I just finished this corrective exercise like a month and a half ago. So I'm still learning the concepts of how to integrate all this stuff. So
yeah. No, but the thing is, the growth process when it comes to massage and body work is always ongoing. And then the technology evolves as well. I am of firm opinion that I think therapists are having more problems with the business side than they are with technique. It's not that technique can't be also improved, but I think the fundamental issue is business. When I talk about putting that information, it's because I'm trying to bootstrap you guys in your SEO. If I take this recording, then it's on my YouTube, I embed it on my website, and now it's a blog post. And you each give me a section of a text with like a question and an answer. That's a little bit different than what we talk about here. So now people hit my website and they're like, what's this? It's like how to build your practice in 2020, whatever. Massage therapists engage with that content, watch the video, develop a connection with you, Karl, and then I can just tag you even on Facebook, and you can get more Facebook followers just from that. Therapists aren't fully understanding the sort of digital sort of exponential reach that this helps create. That's all it is. Like I'm a huge fan of this because it allowed me to thrive. When I talked about the benefit, Kelly, because people would be more likely to book with you because you're a woman. Women would come in. This is one of my favorite stories. I was working on a woman, and she said, when I came to see you, I thought you might have been a serial killer. And I was like, well, could still be. Get you real relaxed. Off you go, compost you in the yard, whatever. And I was like, what got you over the hump? Like, how did you decide, because I have a home-based studio. How did you decide to come see me? And she's like, oh, I watched like 10 of your YouTube videos. It was obvious that you were a consummate professional. Cha-ching.
Gotcha.
And that's the thing. Money came out of that. A direct income source because we used video to create trust. It's one of the reasons, Kelly, why on your website, I want you to put a photo of yourself or eventually of your team, because the connection that we so desperately want, I think right now, especially in the middle of COVID, we can still at least reach out to people. So like you're dealing with therapeutic exercise, Karl. Have you thought of like going on Facebook, doing a Facebook Live and asking your fans, hey, what can I help you with at a distance?
I've already had, I'm not on Facebook, but I've already done some video conferencing and exercise education with some of my clients this past week. So that kind of broke the ice as far as the technology barrier with me. And my next natural progression is just to finally get the nerve to do a video and put it out and just understand that it's not going to be perfect. And that's the big hump you got to get over.
Do you have any issues with that, Kelly?
With video?
Yeah.
Like I don't like to see myself on video, but other than that.
So here's the thing. Gary Vee did something to me years ago. And if I ever see Gary Vee, I'll probably break down and cry like a fangirl. He said this thing. He said, document, don't create. And I was a philosophy student in college. I was real confused when I heard Gary say this. I didn't understand what he was talking about. And I kept watching videos for several weeks. And he mentioned this concept in 2 or 3 different videos and eventually explained it. And I went, oh, wow. Because when I created something, I spent lots of time crafting this workbook, putting it together perfectly, organizing the photos, changing the text, changing the grammar, which is still pretty bad because I went to public school in Louisiana. But I was trying to make it perfect. And what Gary kept saying was document. Just take out your phone and show them what you're already doing. Don't worry about whether it's perfect. Just show them what you're doing. Here's the thing. If you're going to do those Zoom, are you using Zoom, Karl?
I did this week.
Yeah. So have you used Zoom before, Kelly?
Yeah.
Because you were real familiar. Have you used it for like educational purposes online?
Yeah, I actually teach at the chiropractic college out here, and we're all online now because
Yeah.
of all this. So
Yeah. So here's what you do. Just like I got you guys online because I was bored out of my mind.
I figured that was the case.
And I'm like, well, you know, I'm a night owl. I'm up, whatever. So it's like I'm giving you free information. But the thing is, now I can put this information on my YouTube channel, on my website. I've created more content. I can cut a segment, make an Instagram video, cut another segment, make a YouTube video, cut a segment, make a TikTok video if I wanted to, put some music on. I don't know. What it means is I'm able to document what I was already doing.
Yeah.
It doesn't require a fancy camera. It doesn't require a huge like investment in like a tripod and equipment, thousands of dollars. Because if I just document what I'm already doing, what also happens is people actively, they don't want Hollywood, they want Kelly.
Yeah.
Like I'll literally get on and I'm like, man, I got this weird zit in my eye. Like, right, this is horrible. Right over here, I felt horrible. And then I go on with what I was teaching. And here's the thing, that little piece totally humanizes me.
Yeah.
As not being perfect. Does it make sense?
My little $15 phone tripod that just came in a week and a half ago has paid itself off in spades right now.
So here's what I'd have you do. If you're using Zoom, I want you to do those little consults or however you connect with your clients, whatever you're educating them on. I want you to record them.
Okay.
And I want you to ask those people when you're done, listen, do you care if I use this recording in some way on my social media, whatever? Because you're just documenting what you're doing. Over time, massage therapists on the whole are not producing video content.
No.
What would happen if you guys, even with Zoom or your phone, what would happen if you made a video every day for a year? And you put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram, put it on YouTube, put it on your website. By the
end of the year, you'd have so many clients, you wouldn't have time to make any more videos.
And here's the thing, you got your ideal clients because you're going to slowly change the focus of your videos, Karl, to be functional corrective exercise. And the people who are like, I want this guy, like they won't even, that sort of thing is the part that allowed me to excel. And I feel awkward because it created a situation where there was just no competition. Massage therapists are just any therapist I talk to Bradford, he's in Denver. I talk to Jen is in Chicago. And I talk to these people and I go, how many massage therapists in Chicago with regularity make video? And they're like, oh, I don't know anybody.
Exactly.
It's Chicago. Like it's a huge, huge city. There's not a lot of competition. It allows us to really excel, especially when we're not afraid to make mistakes and not afraid of people's judgment. And we just press a button on our laptop to record something. Does it make sense?
It's just the humanity.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten to a weird point because I'm weird, but I kind of like when people get mad at me.
Yes, you do.
And I'm like, why are you mad at me for helping people? I almost taunt people online. But here's the thing, the more they comment on Facebook because they're angry, Facebook keeps showing the video to more people because people are engaging with the content. So your haters, in a sense, are like fans. Like I'm very empathetic and I'm very like with them in a way, but it's like I don't often understand what they're so angry about. And then I have very different opinions than the mass industry of therapists often. So document what you're already doing.
Okay.
You don't have to go crazy and create perfect whatever. In fact, just go out and make bad videos. If you want to see bad videos, go to my TikTok. But I made a TikTok video earlier today. It had 525 views. Less than 100 people like my profile on TikTok. TikTok is giving me the largest organic reach of any platform. When you put something on Instagram, how many people see it?
Oh.
Not as many as TikTok, typically, unless something just happens to catch and kind of go mildly viral. But yeah, video production is a great way. I think also people don't understand what chiropractic is. They don't understand what therapeutic exercise is. We get a chance to take out the camera and change their complete conception of what we do. And I think basically between the three of us, if all of us right now did a 15-minute spiel with models, with technique, with theoretical explanations of what you do, Kelly, and what you do, Karl, and what I do, I think the public's perception of massage just completely shifted. They're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like their stuff is all different. All the public knows is massage.
Get on a table, get undressed. Yeah.
And the future to me is creating the niche services that start to break this down. It's not just a hamburger, fry, and a drink. But you can get a hamburger, fry, and a drink at Whataburger, McDonald's, Burger King, Sonic, Freddy's Frozen Custard. It's like, what's the difference between all of these? That's the job, is we're trying to create an artisanal burger from grass-fed local beef, from aquaponic greens that were sustainably grown. And we're charging $18 for it because the soda has real sugar in it, not corn syrup or whatever, if that's what you want to do. And I always encourage you, you'll notice, like, I don't try to just encourage you to do what I do.
Yeah.
If that's not where your heart is, especially.
I think philosophically there's a lot to be said about, I think there's a lot of confusion in the massage world.
Yes.
Both in knowledge and in practice. I mean, it's that I think you and I've talked about it before, is that, kind of get hung up on the patriarchs of the isms, or the big practice, like whether it's the myofascial, whether it's the this, or whether it's that. And me as a therapist is kind of like trying to bring it that, yeah, you and I have a ton of techniques that we've learned over all these years. And so, but I don't want to be identified by, but he does this technique. I think I'm trying to tailor mine more so, like with you, is listening to the client, making it a personal thing, not impressing upon them what I want for them, but listening to them and say, okay, well, we have some options. We can either go this direction, or this direction with it. And knowing that it's more of a partnership than it is, I'm the know-it-all and you're just the client, and I'm just going to do what what I'm going to do.
That what you just talked about in partnership, if you can get someone like me to come around with your phone and make a video and make several videos that talk about this, that I'm documenting you working with a client. And then as you're working on them doing some technique, maybe it's clothed, then you're saying, I like working with my clients in partnership. That's the video that's on your website. Because it tells me a lot about you and what you're looking for as a client, and allows those people to find you. It's almost like I make a lot of connections or comparisons between romantic relationships and business. Because it's like, you got to make your profile on whatever, oh God, online dating, I'm getting divorced. Okay. You got to make it you so that people connect with you.
Yeah.
Like, what are you looking for? Well, okay, I don't have kids. I don't want to have kids. Well, I don't want to draw people who are all single moms and got 5 kids. Makes sense? But we're not doing that as therapists and saying, well, who are the people I want to work with? Because mostly it's like, well, I'm starving, I got to work with everybody. And it's like, no. Kelly, you're always going to work with Ross, who's the perfect, ideal client, police officer, high stress, very manual job. He's carrying all that equipment, the gun, flashlight, all the stuff he's got, baton, whatever. But the thing is, Ross has a wife, and Ross has a daughter who's 25, and Ross has an aunt. And those people will trust Ross's opinion because you very deeply connected with that target market. I don't normally refuse people when they come in and go, I want a session. I usually try to accommodate them because I need money.
Yeah.
So questions, specific stuff? Anything I left out that you're just like, I'm so confused right now?
Just lots to work on.
Yep.
Easy. Press a button on your phone. I'm trust me. It's going to be horrible. Like, if you want to see how bad it is, go to my YouTube channel. Go to my first YouTube video. It was horrible. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know YouTube was. I mean, I knew you put a video on it, but I had no idea what was the bigger picture. It was just like, yeah, people look at videos, whatever. But just documenting what you're already doing and just bringing people into your world. To me, it's reality TV. It's just that you get to make the Kelly show and show them what you do and draw them into your message. The other portion is, I may be able to do this, I'll have to see. Zoom will save a video file and it'll save an audio file. Could I then take the audio file and make this a podcast where it's just the audio? I would probably think so. And now what you've got is, you've got a big long video. You can cut into chunks, make littler videos. There was some pertinent thing you said, Karl, about connecting with your client. We cut that and make a second video out of that. So we're actually using that one piece of content to produce a podcast, to produce long form video, to produce short form video, to be able to upload it to IGTV. This one piece of content can be cut just using YouTube very easily, just editing, just cutting the beginning and the end. I'm not the one who's going to put graphics on the screen. I don't do that. I don't know how to do it. But multi-purposing that content, you have every reason to put your fingers out into every little social media realm you can get into and try to draw people in to your funnel.
Wow. Pretty powerful.
I played Atari as a kid. People.
We're the same age, brother. So.
Yeah. The technological revolution was not, I didn't use the internet until I was 18. And I was like, well, you wouldn't put a credit card on here. Somebody would steal it. I didn't see it coming. Not that way. Not a commercial application. Not the way it is now. So much of our communication also, like when I would teach classes, when we take break, what all the students do. Because this is where their attention is. You got to advertise and market like where their attention is, where people are paying attention, where they're getting information. Part of the way I win is because I'm just willing to produce so much video content and to be so obsessively building, that the noise of my fans, it gets louder and louder while who's complaining? Like, I'm busy. Like, you don't like, okay, go away.
Good deal.
Yeah. So other questions, website, social media? Because I can't do shit about COVID. And you did not pick a wonderful time to kick off your massage career, Kelly.
Nope.
Man, everybody is, massage entrepreneurs is rough at the moment because I want to ban conversations about how to file for unemployment. That is not the entrepreneurs group I was trying to run.
Well, at least for the most part, we're not talking about, are you still working or are you not working?
Yeah. Well, the problem I have with it is, one, you want to keep people safe. Two, why is it a witch hunt?
Yeah.
Mine was, I closed mine down a little bit earlier for the simple fact is I wanted more knowledge. I'm a facts and data kind of person. I want to understand it so that I'm not, unethically or just unbeknownst to me, going to create more problems. So, but eventually we're going to have to buck up and go back to work. So,
and listen, I'm not an epidemiologist. I'm as confused as everybody else is.
I don't got the answers.
So you guys, I wanted you to know, Karl, are you in our subscription service?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're in, or Kelly, are you?
No, not currently.
Do you know about it at all?
I do. And so one of the classes I teach at the college is self-care for the massage therapy program.
Yeah.
And I send all my students to sign up for you.
Oh, dude, gold. I need to send you a check. So yeah, it's completely free for anybody who's watching. Like you can sign up. It's on my website. You'll find it. You could just go to the store, the Reboot Insiders Club. It has like a catalog of like 500 hours of my classes and instruction. When I get interesting information from you, Kelly, I can now use Zoom. I could do a more detailed like analysis of your website. If you'd like to do that, by the way, a little more detail, and go over some of that. Take this recording and put it inside the vault, because it means everybody gets to learn from the stuff I pulled from your website, and you get more free like information about your business. Make sense?
Yeah.
What I keep doing is Carl's like, well, I want stuff on therapeutic exercise. And I'm like, well, Karl, my approach to therapeutic exercise is yoga. And my knowledge of yoga and how it's supposed to be is like limited at least. So what I keep doing is responding to fans and responding to subscribers and trying to feed them more information slowly over time. So when I keep getting questions, and I do this all the time, I get questions about therapeutic exercise. I got Pilates instructors, yoga teachers, personal trainers, and students. And I'm like, guys, you know more than I do. Karl, you make the videos, and then I'm going to send people to you because I can't be a master of everything, certain. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. You guys getting ready for bed?
Hell no, I'm a night owl.
The only good thing about this is nobody's complaining about the fact that I sleep till noon.
Yep.
I was going to teach yoga today, and I'm like, no, I'm tired. I'm taking off. And then I took a nap in the late afternoon, and there's something so rewarding about taking a nap and knowing that you don't have to do anything.
My nap was about at 2:30 today.
Yeah. It's like you can sleep as long as you want. You don't have to get up at a certain time. Like I relish that sort of some freedom. So I will be online probably again tomorrow. I'll probably go into, I did this in the Reboot Insiders Club first, but I didn't get much of a response. So I went into Massage Entrepreneurs. I'm probably going to do a series of these each day and talk to more therapists because I want to try to find out how people are dealing with stuff. If I could recommend anything right now, pick things like this to work on in your business. We're going to have a month or 6 weeks, probably at least, from what I'm hearing of this. You can really go a long way if you're willing to sit down and play with Instagram, social media, website stuff, whatever it is you think you need. You can spend an inordinate amount of time learning how to do that stuff right now because we have more time. Yeah.
I agree. All right.
And one day I'll have enough fans, I can come to Mississippi.
Oh, trust me, I've torn into some therapists' ass over that.
In-person classes.
These are the same bastards, and these are the same bastards right now that are going, we can't find any CEs.
Yeah,
because our date's been extended, but it just makes me shake my head. I'm like, most therapists, bless their hearts, they're just. That's all I got. Just bless their hearts.
One of the things I'm doing, and Zoom is a piece of this, is like I'm pushing more online education. And the reason why is because I can continue connecting with you, Karl, until there's enough of a following to come. And I can continue connecting with you, Kelly, until I likely make it in June out to Chicago.
Yeah.
As long as it's not the same weekend as the Nationals homecoming.
Oh, what is that? Football?
The 25th through 27th. That's 20 hours of free CEUs for massage therapists that graduated from there.
Oh, hold on, let me check and see real quick. Sometime in June. I think it might have been like mid-June, though.
Well, hopefully the world's open by then, too.
We do hope the world is open. Yeah, it's mid-June. It's like the 15th. It's
awesome.
So we'll see what happens, but I'll let everybody know. Listen, thank you guys so much. In Messenger, if you want me to include those links underneath, if you have a website or any social media profiles you want me to feature, can you just send me links to those?
Yeah.
Will do.
Listen, thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a good night.
Thanks.
You too.
Appreciate it.
See you soon. Keep the faith.